Hey everybody, I am Giselle, Azcona-Lubbock, and I am a New Jersey realtor. Today I wanted to take some time to talk about the buyer agency agreement. This is an agreement that came into fruition summer of 2024, specifically August 17th of 2024. And the reason why I am bringing it to attention now is because, buying season is right around the corner. So if for some reason you decided to, dip your feet into the market last year and you weren't successful just because of the lack of inventory, and you want to try your luck again this year, now you must sign a buyer agency agreement. I am saying this so you're not surprised when your agent tells you about this agreement. So I will explain them briefly. If you want to know more details about them, please feel free to reach out. If you wish to work with me, please feel free to reach out, and I will start talking about them without further ado. So I'm going to briefly talk about the first three, and there are 5. These, I'm going to kind of put it into terms of a relationship. So let's say you want to get to know somebody before you, decide you want to commit to the relationship. These are the 3 that you're going to more than likely sign with. And I like them simply because it takes 2 to tango, as they say. You, as a client, want to know if I'm a good fit for you, and me, as an agent, realtor, I want to know if I'm a good fit for you as a client, and vice versa. Let's be honest, our most valuable asset is time, and let's make sure we don't waste none of our time. I want to make sure that I do my job by helping you find your home or investment property, whatever it is that you want. But I also need to make sure that you're going to trust my guidance as we work together. So that is what these agreements are good for, because it starts establishing a working relationship between you and your agent. One of them, the first one that I'm going to talk about, is the buyer agency single property representation agreement. This is exactly what it is. We're going to look at one property and one property only. I apologize, but no freebies. However, the thing to pay attention to with this agreement is that it can be valid for a certain amount of time. So let's say we take a look at one property and our agreement is good for 60 days, I don't know, an example. But for some reason you decide to view the same property with another agent within our 60-day time frame, and then you put an offer with that agent, that may cause an issue. So just be careful with that. Now moving on to the other ones, which are showing agreement and showing agreement non-compensation. So showing agreement, basically in this one, we will discuss compensation if the opportunity arises in which you want to put an offer into a home that we view. And also we get to see more than one home, and it, like the other one, will last a certain amount of time. The other one is, showing agreement without compensation. Basically, we're going to see homes together. We haven't discussed my compensation or how I'm going to get paid. And, we'll take it from there. Just know that after these agreements, especially if you do the showing no compensation, it is very likely that you will more than likely have to sign a different type of agreement with your agent, just so that compensation is discussed. Being that I'm talking about compensation real quick, please know that compensation has always been negotiable. I will circle on compensation a little bit more within the section of the agreement, but please note that in most cases, the listing agent has already negotiated compensation for both the seller's agent and the buyer's agent. But in the event that the listing agent only was, able to get compensation for themselves, then what that means is that as a buyer, you will be talking with your agent about how you will be compensating them. And there's a few ways in which that can happen, but that's basically the whole point of these agreements, so that everybody knows how people are getting paid and who the money is coming from. Okay, so with that being said, there are 2 agreements that are more than likely to be presented by your agent. There's an exclusive buyer agency agreement, and then there's the non-exclusive buyer agency agreement. And that's pretty much what it is. You're going to work with one agent exclusively, or you're going to work with more than one agent, but these agents cannot share the same area. All right, so the exclusive one, you're going to name the buyers, brokerage firm, the agent that you're going to be working with, and then of course the location. So let's say I'm your agent for Northern Jersey, and that's what we're going to put here. And we're also going to talk about how long we're going to be working for together. So the buyer representation of this agreement is slightly different from the non-exclusive one. And that's honestly the main differences between these two agreements. And I'm going to read them out loud so that you know what they are. And again, if you want more details about it, please feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to help. Buyer representation. Buyer does not have a business relationship with another real estate brokerage firm. No other buyer agency agreement is currently in effect for the area set forth in Section 1, including any protection period following the expiration or termination of this agreement. Buyer has disclosed to broker all information about any property buyer has visited at any open house, viewed in person or virtually, and or introduced to by other real estate brokerage firm that falls within Section 1 before signing this agreement. So that's the one with the exclusive buyer agency agreement. The non-exclusive buyer agency agreement, these are the differences. So buyer does not have an exclusive business relationship with another real estate brokerage. So you don't have an exclusive, you haven't signed one of these before, okay? No exclusive buyer agency agreement is currently in effect for the area or any part of the area set forth in Section 1, including any protection period following the expiration or termination of the agreement, and buyer will not enter into such exclusive agreement during the term of this agreement. Buyer has disclosed to broker and will continue to disclose to broker during the term of the agreement all information about any property that has been visited at any open houses, viewed in person or virtually, and or been introduced to by another real estate brokerage firm that falls within Section 1. So if for some reason you are looking into properties in Northern New Jersey, but for now you decide that you want to look at properties in Southern Jersey or Central Jersey, whatever part of Jersey, you will have to do a non-exclusive if you're going to work with more than one agent, but you're only allowed to have one agent per section of the state that you're going to be in. So that's that. Now, the other part that I'm going to get into is basically compensation or commission, whatever you want to call it. Like I mentioned before, it is negotiable. However, the one thing that I'm going to mention that is part of the agreement here, let's say the listing agent does not, let's say you as a buyer only want to look at houses in which the listing agent was able to negotiate compensation for both the listing agent and the buyer's agent. Then if you don't want to look at the houses that don't pay the buyer's agent commission, there's a section here in which you can sign off on saying you don't want to see those houses. However, let's say a house shows up on the market that's a beautiful, gorgeous home, and that's the home that you go see with your agent, and your agent discloses to you that there's no buyer's agent compensation there. Because you signed that you're going to pay your agent a percentage here, you need to now know or find out how you're going to be paying your agent their buyer's agent compensation, because you did sign off that you will be paying whatever percentage or flat rate you guys decided upon. This is negotiable, but please pay attention to that and know that your agent should be advising you on which homes offer buyer's agent compensation and which ones don't. So with that being said, I'm going to leave it at that because that's the most important thing about these agreements, and also they highlight what us as agents should be bringing to the table, which is obviously your best interest first and foremost. Again, if you want any more detailed explanation about these agreements, please feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to assist. If you need any assistance with real estate needs, please feel free to reach out as well. I like to work with people that are looking to buy, sell, or rent homes. Also, investment properties. My name is Giselle Azcona-Lubbock. You can find me at my website, NJ Property Giselle. You can Google me, Giselle Azcona-Lubbock, and trust me, I will show up. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was of value to you. Please leave any comments below on anything that you're interested in learning about. I'll be happy to share, and it also gives me ideas for future videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.